The 22nd question. In the circuits shown below, the readings of the voltmeters and the ammeters will be V2 greater than V1 and I1 is equal to I2. 2. V1 is equal to V2 and I1 greater than I2. 3. V1 is equal to V2 and I1 is equal to I2. 4. V1 greater than V2 and I1 greater than I2. Now you can see the two circuits which has a 10 ohm resistance, voltmeter, ammeter and 10 volts battery. Now let us quickly solve this. Now in circuit 1 you can see that the resistance R effective is 10 ohms. Let us take R effective is equal to 10 ohms. And I1 is also equal to 1 ampere and V1 is equal to 10 volts. All this with respect to circuit 1. And in circuit 2 it is, now you can see that the voltmeter is connected in series combination with the 10 ohm in the lower branch. You can see that it is now going to be the lower branch, it is now going to be connected in series with the branch. So this branch will not have any current, will not draw any current because of infinite resistance offered by the voltmeter. So R effective will be equal to, R effective will be equal to 10 ohms and I2 is equal to 1 ampere. Now we know from this circuit arrangement you can see that V1 is equal to V2 and I1 is equal to I2. I1 is equal to I2. So option 3 is correct. V1 is equal to V2 and I1 is equal to I2 is the correct option. Now going to the 23rd question. A body weighs 200 newtons on the surface of the earth. How much will it weigh halfway down the center of the earth? Now we know that G dash is equal to G into 1 minus D by R. And G dash is equal to G into 1 minus. Here you can see that it is now given halfway down the earth and the weight is 200 newtons. So it is now going to be D will be equal to halfway between that. So you can take it as 2R. Okay, R by 2R. D is equal, if R is going to be 2R, then D is equal to R. Okay, so 2R. So it is seen, you can see from both the equations that G dash is equal to G by 2. Now we know weight is equal to mg. So let us take W dash is equal to mg dash. Now since G is equal to G by 2, let me put it as m into G by 2, or this is clear that W dash is equal to W by 2, which is equal to 200 by 2, which is equal to 100 newtons. So we can see that option 4 is correct. Coming to the 24th question. A cylindrical conductor of radius R is carrying a constant current. The plot of the magnitude of the magnetic field V with the distance D from the center of the conductor is correctly represented by which of the following options? Now we can see that B is directly proportional to R if R is greater than R, and B is inversely proportional to R if R is lesser than r. So from this it is clear that option 3 is correct. So it is when it is lesser than r. In the first case, when it is, you can see that it is directly proportional. That is why it is increasing steeply. And then, but as the distance increases, you can see that it slowly, b value slowly decreases. So option C is the correct answer, or option 3 is the correct answer. Now going to the 25th question. Ionized hydrogen atoms and alpha particles with same momenta enters perpendicular to a constant magnetic field V. The ratio of their radii of their paths RH is to R alpha will be 1. A 1, 2 is to 1, 2, 1 is to 2, 3, 4 is to 1, and 4, 1 is to 4. Let us quickly solve this. Now we know R is equal to mv by vq, where m stands for the mass, v the velocity, b the magnetic field, and q is the charge. So we can see from this all the others are constant. M, B, Q are constant. So from this we can see that R is inversely proportional to Q. Or in other words, RH by R alpha is equal to Q alpha by Q H, or since you know alpha is 2 times that of the alpha particle is nothing but similar to that of the helium, so it has mass number 4, so option it will be in the ratio 2:1, or therefore let's see which option is correct. 2:1, option 1 is correct. 26th question. Which of the following acts as a circuit protection device? Conductor, inductor, switch, fuse. We all know fuse is the device which actually protects the appliances, which will cut the circuit, thereby avoiding overloading. Whenever there is going to be short circuiting or overloading, fire accidents can happen. So thereby fuse wire is a device which now helps us to avoid these disasters by cutting of the circuit. So fuse wire is the protection device. Next is 27. 2 parallel infinite line charges with linear charge densities plus lambda c by m and minus lambda c by m are placed at distances 2r in free space. What is the electric field midway between the 2 line charges? Let us quickly solve this. Now you know E is equal to E1 vector plus E2 vector. But since both are equal, E1 is equal to E2, let me now put it as 2E1 vector, which is equal to 2 times lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 r, where lambda is the linear charge density, which is nothing but 2 and 2 gets cancelled, so that gives you lambda by pi epsilon 0 r. Let's see which option is correct. Now let's see which option is correct. We can see that lambda by pi epsilon 0 r, option 3 is correct. Now going to the 28th question. A disc of radius 2 meters and mass 100 kg rolls on a horizontal floor. Its center of mass has speed of 20 centimeters per second. How much work is needed to stop it? 1. 3 joules. 2. 30 kilojoules. 3. 2 joules and 4 1 joule. Let us quickly solve this. Work required is equal to change in kinetic energy, or let me put it as W is equal to change in kinetic energy. That is initial kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. But final kinetic energy is 0. So KEF, that is final kinetic energy is 0. And initial kinetic energy is equal to, is given by half initial kinetic energy is given by half mv squared plus half I omega squared, which is equal to half mv squared plus, we know I is the moment of inertia and omega is the angular velocity, which is given by v by r, and I is equal to half mr squared. After substituting that, we find out that it is nothing but half into half mr squared. Substituting for v is equal to omega by v by r, and then simplifying you get this, which is nothing but half mv squared plus, now let me substitute half mr squared, and omega squared is nothing but v squared by r squared. So r squared and r squared gets cancelled, so you get it as 1 by 4 mv squared. So when we add this up, we get it as 3 by 4 mv squared. Now substituting the values, it is given that it is nothing but 3 by 4. The mass is 100 and v is 20 into, since it is given 20 centimeters per second, we'll have to convert it to meters. So that will give you 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Simplifying this, we get it to be 3 joules. So option 1 is correct. 29th problem. Alpha particle consists of 2 protons and 2 neutrons only. 2 electrons, 2 protons and 2 neutrons. 3, 2 electrons and 4 protons only. And 4, 2 only. Alpha particle is very similar to helium. So for a helium, how do you write helium? We can write helium atom as He4. So number of protons is 2 and neutrons will be A minus Z. Mass number minus the atomic number, which is, that will give you the number of neutrons, which is equal to 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2. So we can see that it is now going to have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Let's see which option is correct. So 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Option A is correct. Getting into the 30th question. 2 point charges A and B have charges plus Q and minus Q respectively are placed at a certain distance apart, and force acting between them is F. If 25% of charge of A is transferred to B, then force between the charges becomes F. 1 is F, 2 is 9F by 16, 3 is 16F by 9, 4 is 4F by 3. Now let us quickly solve. Now it's given that QA is equal to plus Q and QB is equal to minus Q. And let R be equal to D, which is the distance between the two charges, and let F be the force. Force is equal to F. Now we know F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into QA QE by, instead of R squared, let me put it as D squared. In place of R, I am putting plus D, which is nothing but we know 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0's value is nothing but 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into, since both are same, we can take it as minus q the whole square divided by d square. See, you can see that I placed it as center, and the force acting between them is F, having charges plus q and minus q. So, after substituting for QA and QB, I'll get it as minus q square. So, he says 25% of QA. So, what will be 25% of QA? 25% of QA is nothing but 25 by 100 of Q. And so, QA dash will be equal to, let us take the remaining charges is now going to be 75 by 100 of Q. So, what is QB dash now? QB dash will be equal to minus of Q into 25 plus 25 by 100 of Q, which is nothing but minus 75 by 100 of Q. So, what will be F dash now? F dash will be equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into 75 by 100 of Q into minus 75 by 100 of Q. But we know 75 by 100 is nothing but 3 by 4. Let us substitute that. Then F dash becomes 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into 3 by 3 3s are 9. So 9 by 16 Q square, which is nothing but 9 by 16 of F. So, which option is correct? 9 by 16 of F. Option 2 is correct. Which color of the light has the longest wavelength? Red, blue, green, violet. It is very clear that red has the longest wavelength. So, option 1 is correct.